everybody, and welcome back to Grumble Plays. We're in Season 2, the dreaded sequel, and a couple of things have changed. For one, you can see me, hi, and for two, this series we're playing a completely different genre, capital S, stealth. Yes, we are playing Dishonored 2, the Dishonored game that I imprinted on like the very tall duckling that I am. Let's jump right into it, and I'm gonna explain a couple of things as we go on. We are creating a completely new game. There are a couple of slots in here, just, me making sure that the game runs okay and checking the settings so that you see everything nice and fine. I'm gonna go with hard difficulty. But I am not a masochist, which is why I will not be playing it on very hard. No, we do not need the tutorial. Not after approximately 300 hours. Well, if you couldn't tell, I'm a nerd. Which brings me to the second point. Twitter has decreed that I will be doing a Ghost Clean Hands playthrough, which means not getting spotted, not killing anybody, and most of all honoring the most important of Dishonored traditions, which is sneak past without them ever knowing that they're there. Which is mainly because, if you've caught my most recent live streams, then you'll know that I really explicitly want to play games for other people as an act of care rather than as an act of skill. So this isn't about me showing off that, how super well I know this game and how good I am at stealth. Nah. And your mileage may vary. But, this isn't for me to show off, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of elegant knocking out, but, I'm not gonna have the goal of, clearing each level completely, because like in some areas, and especially certainly in the Dunwall parts of it, there's so many of them, and they're so tightly packed, and everyone has line of sight on everybody, that it just becomes an exercise in frustration, both for me and for you. And that's not why I'm here. I'm here because, Dishonored 2 is my #1 comfort game. I'm doing this series, and I'm doing this Let's Play series, honestly, mostly as a gift to myself, and a little bit as a gift to you. Because I just love this game, and I want to have a nice chill time playing it. I want you to have a nice chill time watching me play it. There will be, a little bit of trivia, a little bit of me waxing philosophical, and but I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm gonna explore, but this isn't, a 100% collectible run. I will be paying attention to my environments, and I will try to be thorough. Because there's a couple of achievements that I do always try to get. I'm gonna let conversations play out. I'm gonna, show you the incredible world building that is in this game. And, I don't want to show off my skill as a player. I want to show off this game, the story that it's got, the really nice, the crunchy gameplay that it has. So, yeah, so that's that. I will be playing as Emily. I am playing this on PC for the first time, because before I didn't have a computer that could hack it, basically. And yeah, so I thought about maybe doing Mission Plus, where, everything is kitted out, you have every single power unlocked, and you can just do whatever the heck you want. But no, I actually decided that, we'd get to play the game as was meant on the first run, and picking and choosing what powers we do unlock. I will be playing with powers. This is not going to be flesh and steel, but we will still be exploring the wonderful verticality of this game, and trying to find as many alternative routes as we can, because there's a lot of lovely sneaking options to get into places. So, and because I really love Emily's power set, I will be playing as her. So yeah, I know this game very well. I haven't done a full playthrough in a while. So settle in for a nice, chill, comfy Let's Play series with the occasional yelp when I turn a corner and there's a guard that I didn't think would be there. Let's get going.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Attano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
And a cat. Snoozing.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Voiced by Sam Rockwell.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Hello, Dad.
You look tired, Father.
Every year, I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier. but
Emily
it
woke
never
up and
is.
she was violent.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these
On the right there,
assassinations
Yul
are
Kulan, the
misguided
current
efforts to
High
protect
Overseer.
No.
A lovely
someone's
man.
trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, and they have knives.
Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Attano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
Corporal.
My dearest niece, hello.
Hi.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector, How naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful empress has returned.
All
With
hail
a very
the
stylish
Empress
undercut.
First of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Corvo not pulling punches today. Ow.
Sword can't still my heart.
Yes, that's what worries me. Well. So, play as Emily Caldwin, ruler of the Empire of the Isles, trained in stealth and combat by her father, Corvo Attano. You're just gonna have to take my word for it because I skipped the tutorial. Or play as Corvo Attano, legendary royal protector to the Empress and figure of infamy from the time of the Rat Plague. Infamous indeed. How many might have forgotten this mask? But, no. We're playing as Emily.
Cast you in cold marble. Sweet girl.
Emily's
Over
just
time, you will
not having a good day at the office.
Perhaps someday you'll see me as the mother you lost. But until then, you'll be kept out of trouble.
I'll lock Lady Emily in her chambers, and I'll bring her to Coldwood Prison until her trial. My father lost it all when I was a boy, so now I wear this uniform, and I send 20-year-olds out to patrol the Rose Gardens instead of drinking with the men from the shooting club.
Oh, poor you.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lady Emily, what happened?
Gonna be all Captain Mayhew.
No!
Alexei!
Fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half?
Kind of sword that's too cool for you. Alexei, I'm so sorry.
There's a legend in the Tower Guard about the Empress's last resort, a safe room inside her chambers holding enough gold to buy a good-sized island. They say that this ring is one of the only 2 keys to exist.
What happened? Alexei. The throne room. Father. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
I mean, isn't it lovely that you can just tell that Ramsey... Oh.
Hold your horses, Corporal. Dial.
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos.
One of the good families. And now that he's helped the rightful Empress take the throne, the Ramseys are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
Isn't it lovely that you can just tell that Ramsey is so mad that Alexei made captain so young? And I mean, yeah, she's Emily's best friend. You bet she's got, the cooler assignments than he does.
I used to hide frogs in this old grandfather clock to drive the housekeepers mad. I thought life was complicated back then.
Bing. Right, when it comes to lore, I'm not going to be reading all of it out. My favorite bits I will summarize here and there. But I will leave them up for a second so that if you want to, you can pause and then read them through. Here is Leonora Helmswater, one of Emily's advisors, having some doubts when it comes to the whole crown killer thing, because, like, yeah, obviously Corvo and Emily are talking about it, but they're not really telling anyone but what they're planning on doing. And then, for the anniversary of Jessamine's passing, they built a ship and launched it. Right, Middlesong's Eve always makes me think that, I mean, this must be this universe's version of Midsummer, because, hold on, there's a calendar there, I think, yep. Clans and songs and Earth are the summer months. Sort of. Because the first game is set between Earth and High Cold, and it rains a lot. And, well, I mean, you know, High Cold and Ice, kinda, that's what it says on the tin. And, well, Month of Darkness is what we're having right now. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter. Right, thank you. The sun set at 4:30 p.m. in my region. Oh boy. Did I not enjoy that?
How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
Everything kinda did. So yeah, little boats, whaling trawlers. Over there's the Distillery District, Holba Square, lots of the locations from the first game. If you're looking for the clock tower, that's behind us. It's on this side of the river. We can't see Coldridge Prison from here, but we will see it over the course of the game.
Delilah is some sort of witch. How is this possible?
You're all right. I was worried. Where's the Royal Protector?
There's a coup underway. My father is... he's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Through your safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks. Looking for the Royal Protector. Find her. Get out of Dunwall.
Alexi, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
No. Megan Foster, eh? So in case you're not familiar with the lore, Alexi was with Emily when their carriage was attacked by a group of well, not so much anti-royalists as people who call themselves the Regenters. They were loyal to the bad guy from the first game.
I can't dally.
Fine. Loyal to the big bad from the first game, the Lord Regent, Burroughs, and, you know, claiming that he should have been the rightful ruler of Dunwall and the Isles, but seeing as he's dead, canonically, like, that's outside of, even if in the game you chose to eliminate him non-lethally, it's canon that, you know, Corvo executes him for treason. Does it himself, too. So there's that. And yeah, so the Regenters believe that, you know, Burroughs was hard done by, and in retaliation they try and kill Emily when she's about 13 years old. Alexei was with her, and together they held the attackers off long enough for the guard and Corvo to come and help.
Emily, I know times are hard. You're
Sure.
the ruler of 4 nations, and I won't pretend to understand the pressure you're under. Only you, and your mother before you, could know what that's like. Whoever's killing off your enemies is doing so for calculated effect, undermining us. I do know what it's like to be blamed for murders you didn't commit, but trust me, we'll find this crown killer, and they'll pay. Tomorrow is the anniversary of her death. A sad day for sure. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've held on to the throne, and you've done what you thought was right for the people of the Empire. You drained the flooded district, kept the gangs in check, and yesterday we launched a magnificent ship bearing Jessamine's name. You're becoming the sovereign your mother wanted you to be, and I'm proud of you.
You go to sleep. Num 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 num. History books. Quickly amended after it turned out that it wasn't Corvo who killed her. But they all thought he was. And of course blamed him. Because he's a foreigner. Yeah, lovely, lovely xenophobia. Boop.
Traitors.
Yep, all of them. Remind me to look at that map. It's huge and it's got jewels. So yeah, during the Rat Plague, after Jessamine died, you know, historians quickly writing the story, and of course writing it in such a way that it fit the narrative that Burroughs and Campbell and all the others were put forth. You know, just an explanation for, you know, Jessamine's death being, well, either Corvo killed her, or, you know, because he's from Sir Kronos, he just didn't know or didn't understand that, you know, it was his job to protect her. And that's some grade A nationalist prejudice for you.
This reminds me of good times with friends, with Wyman. All gone now.
Wyman. And now the history books are, you know, getting addendums, being like, maybe we were just a little bit too racist. Who'da thunk? But, you know, still not really admitting that, just going, well, we were deceived. Yeah. There's the big bejeweled map. With Karnaka, a big fat ruby in the south. That there's Dunwall. And a couple other locations that we know from the lore. This is Crystal. The main isle. Up there is Morley. And that's Tibia. Ooh, money. Alright. Let's spy on some dill
Throne
weeds.
room blocked off. We should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramses want.
What was that?
Oh. Oh shoot. Oh no. I cut him off. Okay. There's an autosave. Let's go back, because he's got a lovely little speech.
Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramses once hosted the king and queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
Ramsay's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's my fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsay is too dangerous to be left in play.
I'm hungry.
Did you pack a snack? Oh. A little bit of gymnastics. Alright, buddy. Give me my stuff back.
This won't leave my hand again.
Go on. Oh. I've already looked into those. And I can't put them in, so... However, there is somewhere we can stash them. Yeah, you keep snoring, buddy. Boop.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
Come on. You can unlock the thing with him still on your shoulder, but Emily, like, you know, she drops him. And while I'm not particularly fussed about him hitting his head on the way down, he does go down like a sack of spuds. So, I do tend to just, out of habit, put him down. Wow. Let's see if we can put him down elegantly. Aw, look at him. Oh, the cat has left her perch. Maybe you've seen her stretch. Wow. You look like you're about to be called into the principal's office. I'll be right back. I have a little bit of environmental storytelling to get through out loud. yeah. Oh yeah, Ramsay's family. We meet an older relative of his in the first game. There's an industrialist chatting to Miss White at the Boyle party. You can fetch her a drink if you're so inclined.
What am I? I got stocking with that leg, that's what. Worse than nothing.
Don't be so down on yourself. I mean, yeah, you're propping up a coup, so I don't like you especially, but you know.
Air feels heavy. Hard to get a good lungful.
Oh,
What's going on?
nothing.
That's Emily Caldwell.
Hi.
Yes, you.
Okay. So that's our first fuck up of the day. And I did think, do I give myself a little cheeky save? Aw, it'll be fine. Oh well. Okay, let's put him down again. Aw, look, he's trying to put the moves on someone at the theater. Ramsay, you know that won't work. Ooh, coin. There we go. All right. Again, I'll be right back. You stay there. So yeah, there's an industrialist at the Boyle party and doing some shady shit. And there's fair guessing that is what put him down in the dumps. Okay, we're going to give ourselves a little quick save, just so we don't have to do all of that again. Now he's going over there. Is that... does he stay over there long enough? Cat's coming back. You need to see a doctor, mate.
Can I read? Of course I can read. What does he think? I'm stupid? I know all my letters, and then some.
I mean, there's no telling with you guys, honestly. Come on. Oh, God. Ooh. Okay, well, while you're
You're going to pay for
busy
this.
tying up your
I
shoe.
need to get away from here.
Ooh.
Look at this place.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Okay, I mean, might as well keep you over here, actually.
Killed for their loyalty to me. Damn the Duke of Serkonos. Damn Delilah. Senseless slaughter.
Let's try the door.
Barred from the outside.
Yeah. So Ramsay can rob the rest of our shit in peace. Ugh. Corvo did not... He did not half-ass that.
Her reign is off to a grand start.
It's a very fancy throne. The concept art for it is incredible. Alright, Dad. Any advice?
Father, I don't know how, but I'll make this right. I promise.
Mom?
Watch over me. Grant me the strength I need. Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsay. The Imperial suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsay. Enjoy the rations and well water, sleeping next to a fortune.
Mm-hmm. Good night, sleep tight. And absolutely let the bedbugs bite. Whispers from the void. Whispers from the void. Right. Don't know why I'm picking up bullets if I'm not planning on using them.
I better take these.
But I like picking stuff up. Crown Killer strikes again.
The Crown Killer must be connected to all this, with the Duke and Delilah.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, yeah, when there's a killer on the loose who does their best to, you know, only murder people who have opposed you in the last 6 months or so.
Old Samuel made this. I'm glad he didn't live to see me driven out of Dunwall Tower.
Yeah. Oh, poor Samuel. On the one hand, I'm sad that he's passed away. Samuel the boatman, on the other hand, yeah, it's best that he's not pulled into this at his age. Wyman. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protective functions, know that I am joking and perfectly aware that the white leaf tobacco is forbidden in Crystal. Yeah. Here's some additional background on Corvo. And here's some of Emily's drawings from the first game. Some of which you see her draw at the pub. It's a mix of high and low chaos drawings. Because that's definitely the one from when Corvo sets Dunwall Tower on fire to get Burrows out of there. I mean, it is an effective way of exterminating pests. Here's a little bit on how Corvo became the Royal Protector and then how everything went to shit.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
There's one thing we can carry out of here, surely. Yeah.
I'll need this.
Yup.
Emily, my daughter, I know that one day you'll be grown up, and I wonder what you'll remember of these years. Will you recall your time as a child with fondness? Or were there too many caretakers, formal dinners, and lessons about boring old history? Maybe the precious hours we spent together will shine brighter. Time captured now and then with your mother and with Corvo, who was always close to my heart. I hope the season of rats and plague will be nothing more than a passing shadow on your early memories. A crisis come and past, weathered by your mother and her advisors. You'll sit on the throne someday, and will do well, I hope. It's a tricky life, full of responsibility and peril. It was not your choice to be the daughter of an empress, but I believe you'll rise to the challenge. Stay good-hearted, Emily. Keep drawing and telling stories, and only share your power with those you truly trust.
If only I could talk to my mother one more time.
Yeah. You find this in Jessamine's secret room In the first game, Corvo finds this and then, you know, evidently gives it to Emily. There was a letter for Corvo as well. I'm not sure. I don't think you still find that in his correspondence now, but yeah, it was the last few things she recorded and wrote before she died. And, you know, you can tell by there being, you know, some little bit of damage on the card how well listened to this audiograph has to be. And why it's like, you know, up there, a little bit out of reach. There's Miss Pilton, Emily's doll from the first game. Alright. Gun case.
I have a feeling I'll need these.
Well. I mean, let's make a deal. Every now and again, if I really get spotted badly, I will shoot my way out of it and cause some chaos and then load. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. The game is pretty good about the auto saving. So, you know, because this is a Ghost and Clean Hands run, and you can only do Ghost and Clean Hands runs with reloading here and there, but, you know.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
You know, I will do my best to use the autosaves and then, you know, make up my progress. Rather than...
What would my old governess say? Callista would probably tell me to sit up straight and to marry Wyman. She'd ask me when the War of the Four Crowns ended. 1625.
See, so some of the lessons did stick. Yeah, Emily's very vocal in the first game about history being one of the subjects she hates most, along with math. Custis Morgan and the postulate child, that being Trevor over there. I call them the Pendle Twats, because that's what they are. Pendleton surname, but you know. A little bit about Dunwall Tower. Oh yeah, Bristol and Morley have a troubled history. Oh yeah, they're a little bit of historian apologia. It's like, well, we were deceived. It was just so tasty. Yeah, and you just, you know, regurgitated all that shit about, you know, Corvo not being worthy of his position. La 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 la.
I've got to get out of Dunwall. I've got to get away. I should talk to the captain of that ship.
That being the dreadful whale. Oop! Nearly fell off. Oop. Oop. Where am I going? There we go. But yeah, Morley and Bristol here, you know, sort of taking the roles of Ireland and England.
What do I have to do to help my father? What do I have to become?
Well, that depends on whether you accept the outsider's mark or not. You know, like, characters from Morley tend to have Gaelic and Irish names, such as Teague Martin, the highwayman turned overseer, turned high overseer from the first game. So yeah, that's sort of, those are some of the recognizable.
You're not fit for the watch uniform.
Indeed not. Some of the recognizable world building elements. Right, into the into the shrub with you. Let me have that bread. Right. Like I said, this isn't going to be an exercise in me knocking out every single guard. In this upcoming area, I will make an effort. Because
The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Emily Caldwin has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find her. That's it, you've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkonos, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
like with these guys, it's actually easier to just knock them out rather than try and sneak past all of them. Because they have like interlocking routes and they have... Uh-oh.
The former Empress, Emily Caldwin, has been accused of high crimes against the state. Anyone caught harboring her is equally guilty of treason.
Come on, buddy. In you go. So it's, it's easier to get these guys than to try and sneak past them. Because there's a couple of buildings I want to get into, and I don't know, especially when you're sneaking and not running. Those windows of opportunity are small. Where are you? There you are. Whoop. Yeah, I'm gonna read Ramsey's orders in a second. Come here, bud. There you go. Another one for the crate. Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Aw, a Duke. They're synchronized. That's so good. Alright. Of course, Captain Ramsey's orders to, you know, not be silly and inspect that cargo that the Duke of Serkonos is bringing with him, because, you know, I mean, sure, there's just super dangerous killer robots in there, but, you know, who cares? Come on. There we go. Pick him up. And carry him off. No. Oh, mate, I wanna get that looked at. Oh. Not my problem. I'd ask him if he's okay, but just going by the whole lot of dead he is, I think that's a question we can... hold on, was here stuff in there? Oh, another letter. Oh, this one a little more informally, signed Mortimer Ramsey. So evidently someone didn't necessarily have to pull rank on oh good, but he's just, oh wow. That's just a testament to Ramsey's self-importance and arrogance, because, you know, he's just casually threatening, you know, in case you don't turn, you know, in case you don't turn traitor, or if you wuss out, I'm just gonna set the crown killer on you, which Ramsey does not have, you know, the rank within the conspiracy or anywhere to do, because, well, not to say too much, but there's exactly less than a handful of people who decide where the crown killer goes or not. But yeah, I should probably think about like how much I spoil going into this. But like, nah, I'll react to no. I'll react to things as they happen. You know, if you know, you know. And if, you know, you don't know. In any case, this is the first Dishonored 2 Let's Play that you're watching. Boop. Then I'm going to keep some of the mystery alive. Stuff? No stuff. Galvani, you disappoint me. Ah, but there's copperware. The obtuse arguments of Lady Boyle, or, you know what, Anton Sokolov, the painter who was commissioned for this portrait, what's called, I believe, the finest behind of Dunwall? Oh good, and there's the code. Guess whose mess of nerds? It's Arkane, and I say this lovingly. Once already, I thought I spied the Royal Protector on a nearby rooftop watching a street altercation below, so I feel safer now. Well, I should explain that this is, you know, the laboratory of Dr. Galvani, who's a character who you expend a great deal of effort robbing twice in the first game. And you're gonna do it again, and again, and again. So yeah, him seeing Corvo on a rooftop does not necessarily mean that his stuff is any safer. Gosh, they just... How handy. They just lined people up and shot them. Which is, you know, I mean, either happened while we were out cold, or it's why the throne room was so relatively empty. Okay. All of these lovely, lovely books. I mean, look at it. So wasted on the person who lives here. And I will tell you in a second why. Or, well, I will show you why. Give me that. Give me that. Don't need bullets. Ooh! Peaches. Peaches for me. Can of peaches. Peaches for free. I will tell you for why.
Kiela, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before
Sounds
the
annuncious.
anniversary of Empress Jessamine's death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. Ta for now.
So it's not that she's taking her own children out of Dunwall, it's that she's trafficking kids into the silver mines in Serkonos. Lovely. So that's some of the other stuff that's going on right outside of our door.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. Dunwall citizens. Today on this Saturday, Delilah will mourn the tragic slaying of our beloved Empress Jessica.
First of her name. Further, the former Empress, Emily Coldwin, is now wanted for treason. Any of you found harboring Emily Coldwin will be fined and arrested.
Night at the body house.
People of
One
Dunwall,
night.
stay in your homes.
Now
We're
cover
advised to
your
stay indoors
shakers.
during this time of unrest.
Oop! That's what I mean by yelping. Christ. Mother! So yeah, it's good that that dude was telling us all about his shankers. So glad. Okay. Oop, okay, he's coming down. Sir. No. If they just go, huh? Then.
I got stocking to that leg, that's what.
That again. Buddy, you gotta. Honestly, you kids, you gotta be nicer to yourselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be honest.
Boop. Alright. Oop. Sure, just under the leaves. Okay, going that way. Oh, no. You see absolutely nothing. Alright. Let's go. Well-traveled sneaky path. Oof. Hello, who are you?
Just minding my own business, trying to get by.
Yeah, buddy, you and me both.
You have to understand, I'm gonna call for help if you don't go.
Okay.
Citizens of Dunwall, listen up. For the sake of your family, turn over all information concerning Emily Caldwin and Corvo Atano, wanted for murder and treason.
Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. I saw something at the bottom of that. Ah, yeah. Business owners throughout Dunwall say they are ready for the influx of visitors expected on this day of mourning, who will need food, lodging, and all manner of items and services during their stay. Yeah. So glad that, industrial capitalism is just so ready for, let's close that. No.
Who opened this door?
The door is closed. Yeah, with you guys, it's always either the wind or the rats. Okay, are you going up? Good.
Kind of dry.
Oh, he's further up than I
Really go for a
usually
whiskey or
let him get.
something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drink.
Come on, buddy. Alright. Oh, hold on, there was stuff downstairs. Yeah. So glad that, capitalism is ready to see the, the touristic potential. And, the anniversary of an assassination. I mean, yeah, as Emily asked at the beginning of the game why we celebrate. You know, that is a mystery for another day. Right, so we're looking at a bit where sometimes the AI freaks out a little bit and it results in an otherwise friendly NPC earning you a spotted by enemies, but we have a little autosave, so...
Edition. Empress Delilah Caldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Atano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear of this, printer. I'm the one who gave you the scoop on the crown killer.
Half of which couldn't be verified. I must have been rat-ass out of my mind to use that name. There's no proof that the murderer has any connection to the crown.
Well, it made a good story. Served a purpose.
Whatever's going on, this coup, it won't last. The people of Bristol are loyal to the Empress, and I'm gonna publish an essay every day for a month to make sure they remember it. What's going on here?
Simon, it's okay. I promise.
What? Guards! Come on!
No!
Traitorous dog.
Simon, I'm the one protecting you, Simon. Jesus. Alright, come on. Simon, are you okay? You chill? Hey!
That man, part of the Duke's coup, I'm sure of it now. And I saw him talking to Captain Ramsey of the City Watch.
You weren't the only one fooled. But I never ordered those killings.
I know that. It was irresponsible of me to print the name Crown Killer. I allowed myself to be coerced. Forgive me.
You're forgiven. I'm not sure what happens next, but protect yourself.
Good to know it's that easy.
And when the time is right, tell people the truth.
You can count on it. I won't ask you what your plans are, but for the sake of Dunwall and for the Empire itself, I hope you succeed.
Thanks, dude. Boop. All right. Yeah. So yeah, there's you know, there've been restoration efforts since the first game, because you know the effects of district's own mismanagement and the plague, and I mean, at its core, Dishonored, especially the first game, is a story about industrial exploitation of both people and nature. There have been restoration efforts, but it's been slow going and difficult. And there's like several points, even here in the Tower District, which just by dint of its proximity to Dunwall Tower, should be one of the more well off. Kent. That's got to be a reference, right? Say here's some foreshadowing about about Kieran Jindosh, who we'll meet at some point. And the notice from the chief editor, which is why I call the guy, even though he's also referred to as the printer, I believe. I call him Simon because since he seems to have editorial control. And well, unless he's now in editorial control because everyone else is dead. Yeah, that's why I call him Simon. But even the areas that should be more well off are still in a state of disrepair. There's another building that we're gonna come up on in a second. Simon, it's just me.
The Dunwall courier will not be silenced. I'm so sorry for my involvement in all this. I was misled. They claimed they had evidence, and then they bullied me. I'm going into hiding for a few days. You should do the same.
You think?
This newspaper has a reputation to uphold after I rebuild it. As soon as it's safe, I'm going to start a series of pamphlets.
Good. You do that. Simon, it's me. But yeah, we're about to come up on a building. And, you know, some of the craftier bastards out there are, you know, trying to make it look like by, by focusing her efforts on the flooded district, because that was, an area completely abandoned. It was like it was Weeper, it was Plague Central, basically. By calling her focus on the flooded district, calling it abandoning the people here, which, there's definitely some criticism of.
Road is blocked by order of the City Watch.
Locked? What am I supposed to do now?
Not my concern, citizen. I'd advise you to return to your home.
If I can't get through, that's it for my shop. The entire month will be ruined.
Trust me, you don't want to be out on the streets right now. Move along.
Let's see, do I try and get him now? Ah, he's got line of sight. While we're sitting here. There's certainly criticism of, Emily's way of reigning and of ruling to be made, of their relative inaction when it comes to the Crown Killer, the management of resources. Because, like I said, nature is being exploited to the point where, the whales, that especially Bristol has built their entire economy on, the hunting of whales and... Well, good that I quick saved, isn't it? The hunting of whales and the extraction of whale oil. Like, they've built their entire industry on that. And, now that there's a shortage, they're in trouble. And, okay. Let's try this again with a little bit bigger turning circle. So, there's this whale oil rationing, which the city hasn't seen in a while. Last time was during the events of the first game, when, the Lord Regent declared that, it's rationing time, but, he wasn't doing it to maintain, basic infrastructure and to make sure that, in the end there was enough that, everyone had some electricity left. He did it to use it for his own ill-gotten gains, to to power the security mechanisms that he put everywhere, to keep Corvo out. It's to give money to even, you know, to even more slaughterhouse owners to kill even more whales, you know, so just accelerating the cycle. So, yeah. Right, so this is an apartment. This has been abandoned since the time of the plague. Like, the calendar on the wall is from 1836, which is the year before the events of the first game. And then here's a diary entry that begins in early 1837 in the month of Earth, so in the first month of the year, just days before Empress Jessamine died. You know, Empress Jessamine called for calm. Now we'll heed her call alone. So, you know, they're quarantining, they're, you know, self-isolating in here. And then, you know, by the time of the second entry, Nets, Jessamine's already dead. Corvo's currently rotting in Coldridge while they're trying to torture a false confession out of him. By the time of High Cold, thereabouts, the first game's over. You know, Corvo's done away with Campbell and the Boyles and Burroughs. You know, he's evaded Dowd, and he got Emily back from the Loyalist conspiracy. And, you know, this person is here, like, you know, and this is their last entry, so presumably they died shortly after Month of Clans. You know, the wheat tastes rancid because, you know, there's mold in there, and moldy wheat, not good. You know, so they outlived probably even the plague. I'm not sure if there's a short timeline or a certain timeline on whether the cure, on when the cure was found. But it was eventually, so they may have died in here not knowing that the plague is actually over. So, yeah, playing the first game in the middle of a pandemic, an actual real-life pandemic, certainly hits different. But, you know, with stuff like this, even playing the second game does not pull its punches when you find stuff like this. Red friends!
So it's a coup. Caldwins have finally fallen. Never thought I'd see the day.
It seems so. And even the legendary Corvo Attano couldn't stop it.
There's money to be made on this, mark my words.
You seem chuffed and happy. What if it all goes to pieces? Sometimes these things end with people like us face down on an executioner's block.
I'll be fine, I assure you. My grandmother turned a profit on the plague, and I'll come out ahead under the Duke of Serkonos and our new Empress.
Mm-hmm. Don't turn around, don't turn around.
Maybe the crown
The
killer
old
will
song.
come back. Might be wounded. Maybe an easy way for me to earn a medal.
Oh yeah, sure. This is these guards' downfall. Hubris, each and every time.
This is a terrible assignment. Who wants to keep watch over a place where someone was just gutted, even if it was an ass like Ichabod Boyle?
And an ass he was.
Something stinks around here. It's not my job to...
Oh, man. I hope the crown killer doesn't come back. Nasty business. Killing Ichabod Boyle like that.
Do you want the medal or not? shoot. Yep, that's me. Ow. All the way back there. Fine.
Maybe the Crown Killer will come back. Might be wounded. Maybe an easy way for me to earn a medal.
Okay, let's let him walk back over there a little bit. So that maybe...
Oh man, I hope the Crown Killer doesn't come back. Nasty business. Killing a Ichabod Boyle like that.
Okay, that's much better.
My transfer. I've got to get over to one.
You know, you're not here to watch me wrestle with the AI, so... Is that one of Burrow's heads in there? Oop. Oh, well. No. That's just someone with a very upturned nose. Right, so, someone got carved up.
Is that Ichabod Boyle? Another victim of the Crown Killer just days ago in Dunwall.
So, yeah. Ichabod Boyle being the remaining and surviving head of the Boyle bankers family. Rich as all hell. Very influential. I think he's a nephew of the Boyle sister that you eliminate in the first game. Or maybe you're a nephew of all of them. I'm not sure. Oh no, wait, it wasn't. I think Esma might have been his mother. I think it's in the Corroded Man. Anyway. Yeah, Banker's family. Rich as all get out. Relative of his was the, to borrow from Deathloop, the primary financial backer of Burrow's little conspiracy and plot to eliminate Jessamine and use Emily as a puppet on the throne. And now here he is, agitating, or well, here he was, agitating against Emily, which I believe there's some further evidence up here. Let's eat all of that first. Smash that. Some more coin. Ah, yes. Oh boy. Currently, I have several friends working on similar pamphlets aimed at further turning public opinion against Emily Caldwin and her cursed royal protector. Lady Bramley is calling hers bastard daughter. That ought to light them up at court. Nathan Bettenbridge is nearly finished with prosecution for Corvo Tano. I'm giving consideration to releasing my own as should Parliament rule, a modest proposal. And, you know, while I generally agree that, you know, parliamentary rule is, you know, preferable to a monarchy, you know, none of these folks were elected. They're just in parliament because they're rich and they own land. Another lovely little you know, parallel to another parliamentary monarchy that we know. I mean, yes, I know that Great Britain has elections these days, but, you know, in a comparable era, they did not. So, you know, fun stuff about there not being any elections. And you can bet your butt. God, I love the little flourishes with a gun there. It's so lovely. You know, when it comes to, it's quick save because this bit is hard. You know, Ichabod Boyle doesn't want Parliament to rule because, you know, he wants there to be, you know, more oversight or anything like that. He wants Parliament to rule because he individually wants more power, more influence, and more money. Because, you know, if it were up to him, he wouldn't be paying taxes. And, you know, the whale oil rationing would not apply to him. You can be sure of that. Oh, don't need it. So, you know, he's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart. And, you know, and for another thing, like, you know, yeah, Emily was born out of wedlock, la 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 la. But, you know, can you imagine?
First the shortage of whale oil, then the murders. Now what's ever going on tonight?
Well,
Let's ask the land agent to re-inspect the riverside drains.
I mean, I'm so glad that you're so posh that you don't have to, you know, really worry about any of this.
Between some of the guards earlier. This is bad.
Wouldn't miss that.
Yeah, it's the lack of decorum that's bad. Not that your empress was chased out of her tower or anything, and there's no, you know...
I'd pay my taxes and all the fees. I'd pay bribes too if it meant the roads weren't blocked off.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk to the magistrate. See if she
Business
can
done
help.
here in Dunwall. That's all about to change. City Watch
Oh.
has its hands full with what's been happening. That crown killer lunatic and all.
The Hatter gang. Damn them.
Can't make it easier for them. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shops selling contraband, just like they've got down in Sarkonis. People are getting rich in Colero and Karnaca, even after paying the Grand Guard to look the other way.
So we set up some black market shops, pass along whatever we score, and we run security for the shopkeepers.
Right, and we take a cut on the sales. I'm telling you, the wind is blowing in our favor for once.
Mm-hmm. And that, on the right there, was Garrus. Alright. Let's get you. So yeah, that posh lady is of course convinced that, you know, nothing will change because she's rich and she's got connections. And so, you know, functionally, this won't make any difference because, you know, a new ruler just means that, you know, she maybe has to... Oh, buddy, that's not... Oh, well, it's your back, not mine. That, you know, she'll just have to bribe a couple different people. You know, doesn't matter to her. She doesn't know yet that she is in for a nasty surprise. Don't need it. That's a fuck off huge anchor. I mean, even just this. Like, the art direction, the design, like, you look at this and you know, yeah, that's Dishonored. Incredible. And the soundscapes, too. Like, you know, the audio design, you know, the the occasional scream that you hear carrying over the water, but also the music, like the ambient soundtrack while you're exploring. Especially here, it's something from the first game. It's what you hear in the mission with the Lord Regent, where Corvo pays him a visit. So they use that to bridge the games, because you know it's incredibly familiar. You hear it a lot in the first Dishonored game. And yeah, and then in Karnaca, as you'll hear when we're there, it's new instruments, it's a completely new melody, and it makes that world incredibly real, because, you know, before, I mean, like, there were maps already, and Serkonos and Karnaca, like, those places were already established in the lore, but, you know, now you see them, and the music is such a huge part of why, as soon as you step foot on the docks, it feels incredibly real, and it feels like there's, you know, a world outside of the map that you're on, and outside of that city that you're in. Right, so at this point, we've actually circumvented, like, that whole stretch of road down to there. You know, there's a couple more coins down there, like on guards, belts and pouches, and there's some copper wire and stuff. But you know, we'll come back here at a point where I can show you this without quite so many guards running around. And like I said at the beginning, I'm not here to clear every level 100%, you know, either of valuables or guards. I will try and get all of the important stuff, including all of the paintings, and of course the runes and bone germs, and blueprints, but, you know, this isn't a 100% run for, you know, every last coin. And yeah, because especially that stretch of roads becomes a bit of an exercise in frustration, and that's not why we're here today. So I will instead, like I said, one of the most important Dishonored traditions, which is make it so they never know you were there. Emily, it's okay. You didn't. Oh, for. Dang, Hackfish. The blood on the water. Did you see that? Dang fish. Honestly, I mean, I picked up all of those health potions, knowing that, you know, playing stealth, I'm not going to use them. And then it's those dang Hackfish.
Past all these uniformed assholes and get into the tower myself.
Oh, you're welcome to try it.
Left in me. Came here to warn the Royal Protector. Maybe too late. Now what? So, there's some kind of shitstorm happening here in Dunwall. The old man's been carried off to who knows where, and I'm out of money for any more operations. Just great.
All right.
Lady Emily, you won't get far with that face. Stamped on half the coins in the city. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
I've got a scarf. It's
I don't
fine.
care what my face looks like. My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you. I know, Anton, but Corvo's gone. The Duke of Serkonos is here with a woman named Delilah. They massacred everyone in the throne room. Then she did something I can't explain. There was nothing to do but run.
Sometimes that's all you can do. This is my ship, the Dreadful Whale. We can head out as soon as you're ready.
I need to get to Karnaca where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
You're Corvo's daughter. I'll give you that. Should we go?
Yes, please.
I'm ready.
Let's get out of here. Alright. Couple of coin I didn't find. Freedom of the press. Yep. Although I think the Steve achievement is actually called freedom of speech. But yes, it is of course freedom of the press. Jessamine's words replayed an old audiograph message from Empress Jessamine Caldwin, which I didn't find, by the way, like, I don't know, until multiple playthroughs in, because much like guards in this game, I don't look up, apparently. So it took me ages to actually find that. Time capsule, coin of the realm, took what I could, Dr. Galvani, we will be back. And the Ramsey fortune. Well, he can rot in there. And about 1.5 hours. That's pretty good. Wakey wakey eggs and bakey.
Am I still aboard Megan's ship? Feels odd.
Oh, I mean, looks normal. I'm joshing. I know what's gonna happen. Slow cinematic pan to where...
What is this place? Where am I?
There's suddenly an odd breeze tickling our neck. Yeah, it looks like you can feel wind in the void.
I can feel something moving closer.
Oops. And I can tell you that you just fell off. Whoopsie. That's what happens. You crane your neck and then you just... So this void looks very different from the void as we know it in Dishonored 1. They made it goth.
Empress Emily Caldwin.
Look who's here.
I am a friend of your father's from the bad old days.
He's such a blowhard.
I never expected us to meet. I watched your mother die at the hands of schemers who wanted your little empire. Then you were rescued by a man in a strange mask. I thought that was the end of the excitement.
Did you though?
But someone yanked the rug from under your feet. You've lost your throne and your father. And I promise, Delilah won't just give them back. So, what are you prepared to do about it? Your Imperial Majesty? And are you clever enough
really
to
big
do
whale.
it without spilling a river of blood? I asked Corvo those questions 15 years ago. This is the moment that changed him. Now it's your turn.
Yes, we are going to accept the outsider's mark.
It burns from the inside. I feel like I'm standing at the edge of something.
Boop. I love that, like...
They're true.
I mean, first things first. In the first game, he just floated. Like, you know, he'd appear at a shrine and he'd float in front of you. And even when you did see him in the void, he was always just, you know, just floating there. Very static. And, yeah, now he runs around. And I love that, like, you know, his disappearing thing looks like a little school of fish. tying in with the, you know, with the Leviathan mythos and everything. And oh, what's this?
Incredible.
We can do magic. Whoop.
This is how I'm going to save my father and reclaim the throne.
Aye. So yeah, the Void always has this habit of showing you things from the real world. Here the aesthetic is a bit more sparing. But as we can see, quite true to life. Including all those postules. Ugh. Oh, moving on. Whee!
Corvo mentioned being here once.
Hello, Mother.
Know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Mother? You're here, but you're not here. In my hand, but somewhere else.
Only the last of my essence. With you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
So, same as Corvo did in the first game. The Heart. Full title, The Heart of a Living Thing. Which, yeah, that living thing used to be Jessamine. The look hasn't changed much. Still shards of metal and bone.
Who is Delilah really? How could she? I don't understand.
Well, Delilah, the Duke of Serkonos, Luca, the Crown Killer, Kirin Jindosh. I will have more to say about those prosthetics later in the game. And here's someone who you might not know yet, Brianna Ashworth. Delilah's partner in all things, meaning her girlfriend, and also sort of together with Jindo's chief inventor. Her right hand.
There are no stars in the sky here. There is no sky. You shouldn't be here. No one should. In thousands of years, few have seen this place. 3 were empresses.
3? I always wonder whether that, counts Jessamine and Emily and Delilah? Or someone else?
There's a strange power in this place. I will never walk in the sun again. I know it now. The one who took my life walks the world still. But he has withdrawn.
That being Dowd, who, basically went into exile.
Such a short time ago, I was a girl, then a young woman, in love, then an empress. Now what am I? I remember the last day I saw you, out behind the tower. There are lessons from your father,
coursing through your head, and lessons from your mother as well. My heart is made of muscle and sinew, but metal and glass as well, and other things.
Magic. Okay, that's all she's got to say for now. It's interesting because in the first game, you know, when you use the heart, especially on things or people that were like, you know, that have a very special connection to her or to Corvo, or you know, that played a big role in the events of the game, there's a disconnect, you know, like the voice in the heart knows that she used to be the Empress, but she tends to talk about the Empress in the third person rather than saying I. And now, 15 years later, you know, she says, I will never walk in the sun again, I know it now. It's like, you know, her consciousness has continued to exist while she's here in the void. And, you know, she's fully accepted that identity now. She knows she's the Empress.
There's no one quite like Delilah. I watched her pull herself up from blood and filth until she was in a position to steal from the wisest scholars in the Empire. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes fawning sycophants of those around her, all of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Well.
When I was 10 years old, bored with my lessons, I dreamed about sword fighting and sailing the ocean. Now I'm realizing that the world is stranger than I ever imagined. Everything I know has been turned on its head, but I'm dealing with it the best I can. When you look at the great jeweled map at Dunwall Tower, Karnaca is the southernmost port in the Empire. A fat, red ruby. That's how I always thought of it. Up close, the city smells like the ocean and strange spices. Up close, it's a tangled story of blood and ambition. The birthplace of my father. Megan Foster is a stranger, but there's something that makes me want to trust her, despite her guarded disposition. She got me out of Dunwall, and I need answers. Delilah and the Duke made me look like a murderer, using the Crown Killer to butcher my political adversaries. They took what was mine, and I'm gonna get it back.
Wakey wakey, this time for real. Alright. That, my friends, was a very, very long day in Dunwall, and certainly a bad day at the office. Next week, well, we have made our way to Serkonos and to Karnaca, but next week we will make our way into it. And seeing what we can find out at Campus Eta Docks. It'll be the mission, The Edge of the World, which is one of my, I mean, I will say this every week. Each mission is one of my favorites, but I genuinely love the atmosphere there, and the way that you are introduced to Serkonos and to Karnaca. Yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, leave a comment on your way out. It really helps me out. If you'd like to receive early access to these episodes, then you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AnnaMarabella, or my Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Grumble. You can become a member there, And especially if you do it on Ko-fi, more of your contribution will end up with me, the maker of these videos. Thank you so much for your support, for watching this video, and for going on this lovely journey with me. Whenever you're watching this, have a great rest of your night or your day. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay healthy, and have a lovely day.